Today we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle number 1 from Jason Aaron and Joelle Jones, the new IDW launch. Now they canceled the last iteration of this with a number 150. I was not reading that. I'm assuming this is a new book and just coming at it blind. And we are reviewing it today just based on its own merits. I don't know anything about prior continuity or whether it plays on anything before. But it's a weird spot to start. Raphael is in prison, and there's a lot of long, drawn-out scenes with some thoughts about him being in prison. It's even called Inmate as a part 1. And Joelle Jones, I'll just say right away, is beautiful. I'm so glad that she's on this, and I would love for her to draw high-profile books like this all the time. I can just look at this art for a long time, and I think it's very well done. Now, pretty slow start. Raphael's kind of just angry and grumpy at being in prison, and you kind of just learn a little bit about prison life in here, some good perspective shots of him just kind of laying down and eating, right, to start. Kind of a weird first 3 pages as a setup. However, it's got a decent mystery of, why is he in prison after all, right? And then he gets in a little fight here as he's stopping some prisoners from escaping San Quentin Prison in California. And a nice little montage action for a couple panels before it gets back to things. He remembers and recalls the past as his turtle friends, and eventually gets framed for murder in the prison after a couple more very slow start pages here. There's a weird kind of again, the first half of this issue is kind of a slow start, and it's why are you doing that with an all-new number 1? I mean, it starts kind of in a weird spot with Raphael in prison in the first place. It does set up the mystery, so you got that there. But again, if you're looking at this, if you're trying to be trying to grab new readers, if this is their first Ninja Turtles comic, what are you starting at this point for? It's kind of a weird decision to start a line with, because this is not just some mini series or whatnot. I think they're starting a line with this. If you look at the back of the book, there's multiple tie-in books that are supposed to be coming in with this as well. Odd choices. And so gets into it. The Foot Clan shows up at the prison. Raphael deals with the Foot Clan. This is where it gets kind of fun and interesting. Feels more Ninja Turtle-y right here. And Raphael's okay, I'm going to escape and go to New York now at this point after this. Now, we learn that there's a deal with the warden, who has also been killed. And that deal, whatever happened, the evidence of it was in a safe. Warden's dead. Safe's emptied out. He's going to be in trouble, and so he just escapes into the sewers. And then we get into New York, where there is a nasty politician in New York who just threw his opponent off a bridge. So interesting times to open up a book in some political violence. But hey, that's where we're at these days. This obviously was written before the events had happened this summer, so that's kind of a touchy thing for things going on. Now, the next issue, it says Michelangelo, so obviously each turtle's going to get 1 issue of a book before they all come together. It's kind of looks how they're going to be doing things. Again, that's kind of an odd way to start a new line. You'd expect it to introduce the turtles together, learn who they are for new readers or whatnot, rather than kind of leave this open there. This just assumes that the new readers kind of just know everything, and that kind of defeats the point of an issue number 1. So on that level, I think they failed at building an issue number 1. I think people are not good at doing this anymore, and it's just telling a story, presuming you know all the facts, and presuming you're interested in a mystery about what's happening to Raphael and why they're broken up as the Turtles. And I guess they've been broken up for months, according to this, and that's that. As far as internally, casting that aside, if you are just in the middle of a Turtles run and reading things for a new storyline, it's pretty interesting. I actually do like the mystery. I think that Raphael's bitterness is pretty interesting as a character start here. And I'm interested in reading to the next issue just from that level. Joelle Jones's art, like I said, is just so phenomenal. I could just skip the dialogue and be happy anyway. That's enough of that. So I have mixed feelings about it because, again, this doesn't feel like a starting point. It just even though it's supposed to be. It does say that there's multiple books that are tying into it where we're going to learn things about the past of the Turtles and how they got here. I'm not interested in reading a whole line to read a storyline. That kind of annoys me. That was mentioned in the editor's blog at the end. But as far as a book by itself, it doesn't stand alone that well. So interesting choice for a start. Good art. decent premise, decent character for one character out of the four. But is it a Ninja Turtles #1? It's kind of not. So I don't even know how to rate that on that level. But I did enjoy it and I was entertained. So I guess I'll give it an 8 out of 10 overall because of the art and the entertainment factor to it. So that's where we're starting here with IDW's new version of the Ninja Turtles. We'll see where this goes in the coming months and if it actually builds into something or doesn't work very well. I guess it's built for trade, and that's where we're at with single issues these days. Built for trade, and yet #1 so that you can get people speculating. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.